Welcome to Quarry Valley Unified Union School Board meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order, but first stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would like to, moving on to approval of the agenda, I'd like to entertain a motion to move item 11, proposed executive session, 1 VSA 313, before finance, item number 8.
I'll make the motion.
A motion's been made. Is there any other additions or deletions to the agenda? Okay, so all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right, moving on to general public comments. Are there any? Okay, moving on to consent agenda. I'd like approval of the minutes, a motion to approve the minutes of November 13, 2025.
I'll make the motion.
A motion's been made. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Moving on to item B, approval of warrants. Check warrant number 588 for $115,174.48. Check warrant 589 for $22,734.23. Check warrant number 591 for $286,758.45, and check warrant 592 for the amount of $6,213.72.
I'll make a motion.
A motion's been made. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Moving on to personnel. Contract recommendations are informational and are in your packet. All right. Moving on to reports. Superintendent's report.
Thanks, Eric. I know we have a lot of items to discuss tonight, so I'll be quick. I would like to ask the board, I know as we're preparing for town meeting days, as we rotate where our Quarry Valley annual meeting will be each year, when we hosted at Poultney, it's at Poultney High School, Proctor's at Proctor High School, and for some reason, West Rutland, we've had it at Town Hall. We were wondering if the board would be open to moving that to the school, West Rutland School. Two reasons why. One, just, parking, but also with the hybrid location or the hybrid meeting, it's very hard for us to set that up at the town hall. While at West Rutland at the library, we have a better opportunity to, offer a hybrid meeting, which would allow people who are calling in or dialing in from home to better understand or better interact with the board or ask questions. So I just would, I know that we had put that when back in March during the reorg that was the location of the town hall. And this morning we met with the clerks. Lewis and myself and Christy McGinnis did. I said we'd ask the board, see if the board would be open to shifting location from West Rutland Town Hall to West Rutland School. I did confirm that date with Mr. Slanker, and that date is open. And the only conflict we seem to run into every year, no matter what high school, is around playoffs. But even if there are playoffs, we just would have to just figure out parking. But that's, I think last year we had Poultney High School the same night. The gym was full, and then I think we had 2 people in the library at our. Yeah. That seemed to happen each year. But if the board's open to that, I think.
Yeah, I don't see a problem.
I'd make a motion that we move it to the West Rutland School for improved technical capabilities.
Okay.
The annual.
The annual.
Mm-hmm.
The motion's been made. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Thank you. So we will update the warning that'll read February 24th, West Rutland School. Thank you. And so I'll be more than happy to answer any other questions. Like I said,
What's the date?
February 24th.
February 24th.
So I'll be more than happy to answer any other questions. I know I did put a copy of the redistricting task force final reports. It is a lengthy document, but I did try to provide a brief synopsis of the report here, but it's nothing that we have not discussed or seen before. So it's just, and we know Governor Scott's he's made his feelings very clear about this, and so it should be an interesting legislative session, which we just should all be just be aware of what's going on, and particularly impacts our conversations about Quarry Valley and what it means for our schools moving forward. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Chris. Moving on to principal's report. Would you like to go first?
Sure.
All right.
Hi, everybody. You do have my written report. Feel free to ask questions. I'd like to mention that our PICO program begins on January 9th, with our other Fun Friday events to begin on January 16th, because the PICO are still going, those kids are still going to be going even on when we have early release days, so that they can get their dates in. Other activities this year include bowling, skiing, karaoke dance, art, crochet, magnetiles, Legos, yoga, and cooking. I want to thank all the teachers for their creativity in planning these experiences for the kids. I'd like to congratulate Iris Burlingame. She was recognized by the Vermont Secretary of State for her platform Decreasing Food Waste as part of the Vermont Kids Governor Program. And I'd like to congratulate the 5th and 6th grade teachers for bringing this to our students as well. It was a really cool thing to participate in. And our caroling event will be held next Wednesday, the 17th at 1 o'clock. And all students, as well as many teachers and staff, will be performing. Join us if you can. And it will be recorded for future viewings. And happy holidays.
Thank you.
Great. Good evening, everybody. I noted in my report some of the things we were able to do in November. It's a really short time between when we last met and now, with the amount of things that have gone on. Lots of activities. Exciting news for us, the first time in 2 years. Next Tuesday, 6 o'clock, we'll be hosting our holiday concert. We've got students kindergarten through 6 coming to play a bunch of different instruments. We've got chorus, band, 2 different bands playing. Should be an exciting event. Our PTO the next morning is hosting our holiday shopping. So students come in and buy for people they care for. And then we have folks coming actually from Boys and Girls Club are going to come help us. We have community volunteers that are going to come in and help wrap with the kids so that they have something to take home with them. And then we are going to end the week with a community holiday sing-along. So you're welcome to join us 8:30 in the gym. It's a lot of fun. It's also pajama day, so we just do that and then roll on into.
Pajama day.
I was gonna say.
I will feature pajamas most likely that day, and then roll right into break. So lots to look forward when we get back in January. Lots of things to be looking forward to in the winter as well. But really, just trying to enjoy the time with our students and our faculty. And
If you visit Pontley High School, you're apt to see Pajama Day every day.
we're just happy they're there. So we really encourage you guys to come out next week. It should be a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. In my board report, the written part, we do have a couple grants that our teachers wrote. One of them, our middle school, we wrote 2 grants actually for to do a PICO, like a Fun Friday type thing with PICO, one for the PICO thing and one for the transportation. So it's all, that's nothing, no charge for, nothing Lewis has to worry about. We also just got a grant for, Mandy Mason just wrote a grant for her Pathways class to work with the maker space downtown. Just got a $2,500 grant for that. So yeah, we're trying to get out there, the teachers, doing this on their own, getting out there and getting the kids out in the community. Speaking of getting out in the community, in the report you saw the National Honor Society did a food drive, and they got over 650 pounds of food that they donated before Thanksgiving, and now our student council is doing a toy drive as well. They had an event on Sunday. It was a dodgeball tournament that they put together, and the cost to get in was unwrapped toy, so they're working on that as well. And we always tell the kids, give back to the community. The community gives a lot to you. You need to give back, so that's good to see that. Our art our music concert is Monday, but it's also our art show, and the Spanish Club is doing something there, so it's nice to see, get more people there with those type of things going on with that. And we are working with the elementary school, one of our wind blocks in the middle school. They built birdhouses, and they went down with the kindergarten kids and hung them up around the school there last month, and then they're actually going down tomorrow, working with the kindergarten. There's two for doing some holiday stuff with them, so it's nice, again, we're doing that connection with the elementary school, trying to get that more going too.
We let you in.
From time to time.
Get them out of our building. Let them go back.
All right, well,
Thank
good
you.
evening. A couple of things that I wanted to highlight in my report. Last night, we did have our holiday concert. The roads in West Rutland were actually quite good, and we had actually worked with the town hall, or the town maintenance crew, and also Fabian, who does plowing for us, and everything was great. We had about 600 people in attendance, so we had a really nice crowd last night. Right up to the last board meeting, we had our first coffee house of the year back on November 19th. That was a standing room only, literally standing room only event at the town hall. We use the town hall because they have a stage there, and lots of musical different acts that evening. Just wonderful. Something else that I had done, I attended the statewide conference on the chronic absenteeism back on November 17th. This is something that we've had a follow-up meeting now with the superintendent and Rutland Mental Health and the health department here in Rutland, looking at ways at combating chronic absenteeism, which is listed as 10 or more absences in a school year, or an average of 2 or more days a month. So we had an initial meeting just last week, or was it this week? I don't remember. It was recent. Couple of
It was
days.
recent?
It's very busy.
Past few weeks.
Anybody that's been in a school right before the holidays, it is a busy time. So, and obviously winter sports are now getting into session as well. So, our National Honor Society actually just led or are about to lead the character awards. We started those last year. They've been a big hit. And they actually also did a food drive. We have a great partnership with the West Rutland Food Pantry, so that is something that we continue to work on, and it's just great to give back to the community. So I can answer any other questions, but this is always a horse race between beginning of November and the holidays, so it's hard to keep track of everything.
Thank you.
Hello. Proctor just had its band concert on Monday. It was probably the most well-attended concert since my 5 years of being there. About a third of our students participate in our band. And there is an honors band, a middle school, a high school, and then they do a combined 7 through 12. And they do a really amazing job. So congratulations to Chrissy Papandrea for putting that on. We also just finished up our sophomore class led a Thanksgiving food drive for the Pittsford Food Shelf, and now our National Honor Society is doing a Humane Society donation drive. This year, we're trying to do things a little differently at Proctor for our students, for student enrichment in the academic areas, and so students that are wanting to go for a 4 or higher level honors have been asked to do some independent projects in their courses, and we're going to be doing 2 academic showcases, and the first one's coming up on January 9th. We'll have our Poetry Out Loud students be reading their poems, and then we will be displaying sort of these projects that they're working on for students. And so that's on January 9th at 10:30 in our gym. I also have a request for our AP US History. They would like to go down to Model UN January 16th to the 18th, and that's in New Haven, Connecticut. And so I'm asking permission to bring those students.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Mike's made the motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Congrats.
I don't know if we want to go over the boiler bids now, or would you like to do that later?
We're doing the finance.
Okay.
Okay. Moving on to old business. Slate Valley Trails. We received the red line document from our attorney, and I think that we need some time to review this document before making a decision. I think I would like to there's a few items. I don't know if any of you want to talk about them, about each, some items that I've found or you have found. We can do that, or we can wait until January's meeting to go over that. I would like to entertain a motion for Chris to invite, is it Alex?
Well, it would be Chris Leopold, and Chris Leopold appoints Alex, who's in his firm. That's who provided the feedback, provide the letter and then commentary on the agreement. We would, either Chris would be in attendance or Alex would be in attendance in an executive session to discuss contracts with the board. If the board, that's the pleasure of the board.
I have some concerns, and I had redlined it before we got the red line version today, reading through it, just because it's similar. I also oversee a trail that runs through 600 acres, so I have a little insight on what that looks like. And it was slightly concerning to me when the attorney was talking about an easement, because an easement to me means legalese, and there's some giving of your rights when you're talking about an easement. And so I did have some concerns, but if we can put it off to January with the budget tonight, I think that would probably be the best to have if we're going to invite the attorney. I don't see any reason to discuss it this evening.
I agree. I also would like to invite, the trail goes through our real property, the school's real property, and enters onto the D&H Rail Trail, which is a state-owned real property. And I would like an understanding of their current agreement with joining the state-run property. So
That was one of the things I noted, because
Yeah,
I think
so-
once you're in the trail system, you're in the trail system.
right, so I want to invite the program manager for Vermont's Rail Trails to come to that meeting as well, so that we all have all the stakeholders at the table
Yep.
when discussing this agreement. Also, I have concerns about the 10-year term. I need to see where that is actually coming from, because I can't find a statute regarding
It
the
doesn't say
10-year
that,
term.
and it doesn't say tenure in any of the statute. It just says you have to abide by any federal
Right.
and state grants, but it doesn't have any term. I have that noted too.
And also, we're on the same page. Also, Article 7, which is liabilities.
Right,
And
which also falls under the same thing. If you're just allowing them to cross your property for recreational, then we fall under because we're a nonprofit
yeah.
under the statute. So there's a lot of wording in there. I think that makes it more cumbersome and financially cumbersome for us than needs to be. And that's why I think you shouldn't be using the word easement. You should just be saying allowing to cross your property for recreational activities. So, but I'm happy to make a motion to move this to the January agenda and invite the parties that the chair and the superintendent feel need to be present to have a robust conversation.
So a motion's been made by Lisa. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Executive session.
Is that after? Yeah, we don't have any new business, so,
motion.
we're gonna be moving, into executive session.
I'll make the motion.
A motion's been made to move into,
Contract personnel.
a motion's been made to move into executive session by Mike. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So So moved. Right, out of executive session at 7:36. Louis, would you?
Sure. So tonight, we are reviewing the second draft of the Quarry Valley FY27 budget. Currently, our total expenses are up by $863,000 or 4%. Education spending is up by $1,201,000 or 6.2%. It's pretty close to where we were last month when we looked at the first draft. Total spending was up by 6.4% last month, and we're at 6.2 now, so it's just a slight decrease. Since last month, there's just been a few changes. The GRCSU budget, based on draft number 3, has been input into this budget. The SU board did approve the budget on Monday night, and there's no change from the third draft to the approved budget, so what's in here is the final numbers. Vocational tuition, which is the Stafford tuition, is included in this budget. It was still pending at the time of the first draft. At the last board meeting, the board asked us to look at some staff or expense cuts proposals. We came back to the board with 3 different scenarios, which we just reviewed in executive session. At this time, the board has not decided on any of those, so we'll bring those back to the next meeting to further discuss those. Based on where the budget stands today, inputting it into the tax rate calculation, we're looking at total spending per pupil at $12,019, which is a 7.41% increase in spending per pupil. The property yield, which is set by the state legislators, we're currently using the tax commissioner's recommendation, which is $8,849. And based on that yield, we're looking at an equalized tax rate of $1.33. The last piece of the calculation would be the CLA's, common level of appraisals. That data has not come out yet. We should have it by the next meeting. But based on last year's CLA data, we would be looking at based on the current budget, an ending tax rate of a 5.1% increase. So currently, there's three items that are estimates. It's the long-term weighted ADM, the yield, and the CLAs. By the next meeting, the only item that will be pending is the property yield.
Okay.
So we will continue to review this and provide an update at the next meeting.
Great, thank you. All right, moving to general public comments. Do we have
2
any?
other items.
Oh, you have a few other items? Okay.
So we have to set our announced tuition rate. And so in the packet was a document which shows what our current announced tuition is, as well as what the announced tuition is for some of the schools in our county or region. Currently, our elementary school rate is $17,500, and our secondary rate is $20,000. My recommendations for next year would be to increase our elementary rate to $18,500 and our secondary rate to $21,000.
So moved.
Okay. Do you need a motion on that?
She just gave you.
Okay, so Lisa gave a motion. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
And then the last item, so last month, the board approved utilizing the capital improvement fund to replace 2 boilers at Proctor High School. We did receive those quotes. We went out to bid. The bids were due earlier this week. Those bids were in the packet. We're recommending that we go with the JDW bid, which is approximately $90,000.
Make the motion.
Motion's been made by Mike. Any discussion?
The elementary school boiler, did they ever say they were gonna take that?
Yes, they will take that.
Okay.
It is
It's not gonna
included.
get
We are
left.
just waiting for the, updated
Happy day, happy
verbiage.
day.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
opposed? So moved.
Thank you.
Yep. Now moving on to general public comment. Okay. Future meeting dates, January 8th, 2026. Are there any future agenda items?
Well, I think like at the next meeting, if we're gonna continue to discuss the budget and if we're inviting people for Slate Valley Trails, that should probably be the bulk of the meeting, because those could both be rather lengthy conversations, particularly if we're inviting multiple people for the first conversation.
Okay. So we can move quickly through the other items.
Make a motion to adjourn.
All right. Motion's been made to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.